Hi everyone and welcome. My name is Natalie from the Institutional Banking team in Australia, and thank you for joining me for our Administration in ANZ Transactive Global training webinar. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge that I'm joining you from Perth, Western Australia, the land of the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation. I also acknowledge the traditional owners on the various lands of which you are joining us from today. I pay my respects to elders past and present and to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples joining us today. Our training webinars are designed to help you unlock the full potential and get the most out of ANZ Transactive Global, our digital web and mobile banking channel. Through a single interface, you can access common services such as cash management, trade finance, loans, commercial cards, foreign exchange, and data insights. In this session, I'll be taking you through the administration menu in ANZ Transactive Global. Administration allows your organisation to create and manage users, roles, product rules, and approval workflows. And we will also take a look at reporting available and any new features that have been introduced since our last administration webinar. Following today's session, I would encourage you to view our ANZ Digital Services help page for further information on the topics discussed, as well as revisiting our previous webinars, and I will show you how to find these at the end of today's session. You'll see that the Teams chat function is disabled. However, you can ask questions using the Q&A tab, which is located at the top of the screen. My colleagues are online and will answer as many questions as possible as we go. Today's training session is being recorded. The video and a copy of the question and answers, including any questions we're unable to answer during the session, will be published in ANZ Digital Services Help in the coming days, so you can rewatch or share with colleagues who couldn't join us live. And the last thing before we start, this session is being conducted using a training environment, which means some of the screens and the system behaviour may appear a little different to what you see in your live ANZ Transactive Global site, so please keep that in mind as we go. For anything outside of ANZ Transactive Global, we'll show screens from ANZ Digital Services Help. Today we'll start by looking at administration models, and to help demonstrate this, from our ANZ Transactive Global login, let's navigate to ANZ Digital Services Help. Click the Help icon in the top right of the application banner, and this will open ANZ Digital Services Help in a new window. ANZ Digital Services Help is our online self-service database of step-by-step guides, instructional videos, and frequently asked questions for our digital channels, including ANZ Transactive Global. ANZ Digital Services Help is made up of 3 segments: search, popular topics, and support categories. Let's start by clicking Administration from the support categories. And from the Administration Overview topic, click Administration Models. ANZ strongly recommends a segregation of duties using multiple administrators to help reduce the risk of undetected fraudulent activities. Having a single individual perform functions within ANZ Transactive Global can increase the risk of fraudulent activity going undetected. This includes using multiple administrators when making changes to user profiles and system settings, as well as ensuring different users are involved when creating and approving payments and direct debits. Your organisation will be set up with one of the following administration models. The triple administration model is where a minimum of 3 administrators are required to effect the changes. And using this model, an administrator cannot modify or approve changes to their own permissions. The most common model is the dual administration model, and this is where a minimum of 2 administrators are required to effect changes. Using this model, administrators can modify their own permissions, but do require a second administrator to approve the changes. And the final administration model is the single administration, which requires only 1 administrator to make all changes. And this model is less common as it is only suitable and available to sole traders or proprietary companies with a sole director or secretary structure. Organisations using dual or triple administration model will require a minimum of 2 or 3 administrators to manage the channel. Changes to administration models are configured by ANZ. Forms can be downloaded and submitted through the service request menu for our customers in Australia. And for customers from other regions, please follow your usual process for required changes to your ANZ Transactive Global site. Now, while we're in ANZ Digital Services Help, I would also like to share with you the different types of administrators we offer. So from the main menu on the left, select User Management, followed by User Permissions. Select the Administration Roles drop-down. This table outlines the 4 administration roles available: Customer Administration, Division Administration, Authorised Signatory, and User Administration. Please refer to the info box at the top of this table and this table to understand each administration type required for your organisation. And please note that all users with an administration role do require a security device to log in. Let's now navigate to ANZ Transactive Global, where we'll take a look at navigating the administration menu. If we select Administration from the main menu on the left, 7 submenus will appear, and we'll take a look at each of these in more detail, starting with User Management. This menu allows administrators in your organisation to view and manage users who have access to ANZ Transactive Global. If your organisation uses authorisation panels, the authorisation group column has recently been added to this screen, providing a quick view of the authorisation group the user is linked to. From this screen, administrators can manage users, including view, disable, delete, or enable, generate passwords, and reporting. And there's a couple of different ways to complete these actions. You can right-click on a user and select one of the options from the drop-down list. You can tick the checkbox to the left of the user and then click either Actions, Reports, or Generate Password from the control bar at the top. Or you can click on the user for a detailed view and then click the options in the control bar across the top. Let's click Disable. In your live site, a pop-up window will appear and you would click Yes, and the user's status will be set to disabled immediately. No approvals are required. This is ideal if a user takes extended leave. And please note, when disabling a user's access, they will no longer be able to log into ANZ Transactive Global. However, any in-flight payments and direct debits the user created before they were disabled will continue to move through the payment approval and release process. When the user returns to work, you can enable them by clicking Enable, and this will require approval based on your administration model to effect the change. If a user has left your organisation, please ensure you click Delete to delete the user permanently. And we have progressively increased the parameters for deleting ANZ managed users. Did you know you can now delete an ANZ managed user with access to all ANZ platforms and no form is required? I would now like to take you through a look at adding permissions to an existing user. So once the user is selected, you can click Edit and scroll down to the user permissions. You can add permissions to a user in a couple of ways. You can copy the permissions from another user, and this method allows you to select either a user with an active or deleted status. Or you can add the permissions manually. Today, let's add the permissions manually. So click Add Permissions. I wish to add the Approve role to this user's profile. Select this role and then click Continue. The permissions settings screen will populate, and this screen allows us to fine-tune the permissions to suit the payment types the user will be required to approve. So let's work our way down the screen, starting with the Payments field. For my example, the user will not require access to approve payroll payments, so make sure that only Standard is selected. Let's now look at applying approval discretions to each payment type. As you can see, I have Australian domestic direct credit and international payment types. Your live site, however, will show the payment types you have available to you. There are 3 types of discretions that can have a limit applied. Daily, the total amount a user is permitted to approve in 1 day. Batch, the amount a user is permitted to approve for a total batch. And transaction, the amount a user is permitted to approve for 1 transaction, including single items within a batch. In this instance, I would like the user to have 100,000 as their daily limit, 10,000 as the batch limit, and 1,000 as the transaction limit. This user will not be required to approve international payments, so we will select none, and all other settings will be suitable. Select Add Permission and click OK for the pop-up to confirm the permission you are adding, and then click Save. You will now notice the status has changed to pending approval, and depending on your organisation's administration model, this will need to be approved by one or more additional administrators to effect the change. Did you know from October last year, any administration changes that's still pending approval after 30 days will be automatically rejected? You can check the rejection record in the View Audit History. This enhancement keeps your workflow tidy and up to date, reduces risk, and makes sure your approval queue is up to date. So a little tip, set yourself a reminder to view pending approvals weekly so nothing slips through. An administrator can generate a password for a company managed user, and this is available for our customers in Australia or New Zealand only. So from the user management menu we're in, select a user, and you will notice the Generate Password option displays in the control bar. Once selected and approved, based on your administration model, a password will be displayed. Provide this temporary password to the user to log in and reset their password. ANZ recommends referring to this user management screen to regularly review existing user access and disable or deleting inactive users. And this will assist in safeguarding your organisation's account and information by reducing the risk of unauthorised access. Let's now move to the Create User submenu. This is where an administrator can create a company managed user. A company managed user is a user created and managed solely by the administrators within your organisation, and these users log in using a password only. They can perform various tasks depending on the roles that are assigned to them. However, there are restrictions on what functions they can perform. Administrators can create a new company managed user by entering the user details such as name, business email, physical address, and contact number, noting fields with an asterisk are a required field for completion. Scroll down to the user permissions, and as I mentioned earlier, a user can have permissions added by copying an existing user's permissions or manually. And once you've added each permission, click Submit, and this will require approval based on your administration model. Once the final approval is complete, a temporary password will be generated, and please again ensure you share this with the new user. If you need to set up an ANZ managed user for our customers in Australia and New Zealand, please submit this request via the Service Request menu in ANZ Transactive Global. For our customers in other regions, please follow your usual process to submit a form to ANZ for this request. The next menu we'll explore is Role Management. Role Management allows your organisation to review permissions assigned to each role and create and edit custom roles. In the example on my screen, I have 3 roles. To view a list of users that have access to these roles, click on the blue icon on the far right of the role. To edit a role, simply click the role, click Edit from the control bar across the top, and make any required changes. And save. Any changes made to this menu will require approval based on your administration approval model. I would now like to show you how to create a custom role. Click New from the control bar. And the role I would like to create today allows specific users the ability to create and manage beneficiaries only. And this will also allow these users to complete the confirmation of payee check for those in Australia on new or amended beneficiaries. So let's give this role a name and type in a brief description. Select the permissions required. Scroll down to the payee management and tick as required. So for my example, I will tick View and Manage only. Select Submit, and this new role will require approval based on your administration model. And once approved, this role can be allocated to users via the Edit User process we looked at earlier. Moving on to the next submenu, Account Management. This menu displays a list of accounts registered to your organisation. and a jurisdiction field has recently been added to this screen, helping administrators confirm if a division can be assigned to the account's domiciled country or region. As you can see, I have 5 accounts. Click the required account to view it. To edit the account, you can click the Edit button from the control bar, and any fields that are editable will have an asterisk, such as the account short name. And this is the name that will display across ANZ Transactive Global. Please note, if your organisation has divisions, you can also add or remove accounts from divisions here. Click Add a Division and select the required division, then Add Division. If you wish to remove a division, click the X next to the division and click Save. Account Group Management submenu. This enables your organisation to group a set of accounts together. You can then entitle the account group to one or more users, making it easier to entitle large groups of accounts. In this menu, you can edit existing account groups or create new account groups. To create a new account group, just click New, or to modify an existing group, select the group and click Edit. Any changes in this menu will require approval, again based on your administration model. Our next submenu is Other Settings, and this displays or allows you to create settings for divisions, authorization panels, and confidential data groups to restrict user access to certain templates and payments. And did you know you can now view the jurisdiction of each division in ANZ Transactive Global? A new column was added to help you identify this jurisdiction, the restrictions assigned to each division. Today we'll be looking at setting up an authorization panel. So let's click New Panel. An authorization panel allows your organisation to set up threshold amounts and up to 6 approver sequences for approving payments and direct debits. A panel can be as simple or complex as required and allows your organisation to set up a customised approval workflow for your payments and direct debits, giving you full control over who can authorise certain transactions and when. Some common cases where a panel would be effective include setting up a panel threshold amount to ensure payments over a certain amount have the right approvers, setting the panel sequence to ensure certain users approve at a particular point in the approval workflow, or creating an account rule within a panel, allowing for a different approval workflow based on the funding account. Today, I'm going to create a panel that requires 3 approvals, and I will apply this to a domestic payroll payment type. Start by giving the panel a name. Select the currency and a brief description. Let's now complete the panel rules. Select between all accounts or selected accounts and enter a maximum threshold amount for the panel. If it is unlimited, you can enter all 9s. Now select the approver sequence. In this instance, I would like 1 approver to be from Group A and 2 approvers to be from Group B. The drop-down on the right, labelled Order, will allow the approvers to be fixed or not fixed, meaning you can arrange the sequence of approvers if required. For our example, if I want the first approver to always be someone from Group A, I select Fixed First. And please note that the last approver will require their security device to release the payment for processing. Click Submit, and this panel will now move to a pending approval status and require approval based on your administration approval model. Once approved, we can now add this panel to the payment purpose. So from this same screen, an administrator can select the division from the Division Settings field and then click Edit. Review the product settings that are already in place and make any required changes. The Authorization Matrix field, as you can see, we have several payment types noted, and for each payment type you will notice a payment purpose, authorization model, and authorization panel fields. My screen shows that this division requires 2 to authorize for all direct credits, RTGS, and NPP payment types. Both international payment types require a panel to approve, And lastly, internal transfers only require one to authorise. So to add the panel we created earlier to the domestic credit payroll payments, let's create a specific rule for these type of payments. So navigate to the payment purpose column for direct credit. Currently, this shows as all, indicating all payments of this type will follow a to authorise model. In the drop-down, select payroll. And you will notice that we now have two direct credit payment types, one for payroll and one for standard. Let's nominate the authorization model for the payroll to be panel, and we will leave standard as to authorize. In the authorization panel drop-down, select that panel we created earlier and click Save. And this change will now require approval based on your administration model. The final step in creating a panel is adding this panel to the users in your organization via the Edit User process. So again, from the User Management submenu, select the user and click Edit. Scroll down to the authorization group and select the required panel authorization group being either A or B from that drop-down that you wish to assign to the user. Click Save. And repeat this for each user that requires the panel access and arrange approval for these changes to each user. Once all changes are approved, payroll payments for the direct entry payment type, whether uploaded directly into ANZ Transactive Global via File Active, the hybrid model, created via a template, or manually through the Create Salary Payment tile, will be subject to the panel approval method. The last submenu we'll explore today is the Report submenu. Here, you can create, schedule, manage, and email user reports. You can run ad hoc report profiles, schedule reports to automatically run at a particular time, and save reports for the future. Click New from the control bar and select the required report. Today, I would like to run the user activity report. Select the file type required, language, and if required, enter a file name, prefix, and file encoding. Complete the report content fields, nominating a date or a date range, and add the users or user required. And you can also add specific functions if required as well. Select Continue to schedule and save, and this will schedule the report, or run report now. So let's schedule and save. Enter the schedule details and give your report a name. Tick the checkbox, Deliver report by email, to have the report delivered to your registered email address to save you logging in to retrieve it. And if you wish to share the report profile with other users with reporting access, tick the checkbox, Share this report profile. On the right, tick the checkbox if you wish to run this report now after saving, and click Save Report Profile. The report profile will now be saved and display in your list of reports, and this report can be downloaded at any time by simply clicking the download icon on the left of the report profile. And lastly, as promised, I would like to take you through ANZ Digital Services Help that we've referred to during this webinar. Simply click the Help icon in the application banner from your ANZ Transactive Global logon, and this will open ANZ Digital Services Help in a new tab. I'm excited to share with you two new checklists. The first checklist is the New User Checklist, and this checklist helps new users get set up quickly. To access this, from the Popular Topics segment, click New User Activation. Here you will find information relating to activating a new user ID, along with the link to the New User Checklist. Click the hyperlink and the checklist will populate. This checklist covers first-time login, key features, and navigation tips with live hyperlinks to the relevant articles. The second checklist is the Administrator Checklist. Let's click on the tab we have open with ANZ Digital Services Help. From here, using the menu on the left, select Administration. Select the Administration Overview section, and then Administrator Responsibilities. This new checklist is designed specifically for administrators and outlines key activities, responsibilities, and best practices. The article again includes a link to the checklist, which covers activities such as setting up new users, managing permissions, and overseeing administrative functions. It also includes live hyperlinks to the supporting articles. And that brings us to the end of our administration webinar. On the page I'm displaying is a list of our upcoming webinars, together with a QR code to register for these upcoming events. A reminder that a recording of this session, as well as the question and answers, will be added to ANZ Digital Services Help in the coming days, should you wish to revisit or share with your colleagues. You can get to ANZ Digital Services Help by scanning this QR code currently on the screen, or clicking the Help icon next time you are signed into ANZ Transactive Global. I hope this session has been of value, and we look forward to you attending our future ANZ Transactive Global training webinars. Have a great day.